Fiction becoming reality.
On this episode of Simply Necessary Conversation.
For this episode's trending topic, I wanted to delve into the Tesla robots because it has been all over my feed. People have been making memes of it and talking about it because Elon Musk had this rollout of, his new latest and greatest things that he wants to bring into reality. Everyone wants a Tesla car and like the electric self-driving vehicles. I don't want one just because they blow up. Yeah,
after they started catching on fire, but
he kind of got in some hot water with the director of iRobot because the director was basically like, he copied our design. And if you look at the iRobot robots and you look at the Tesla robots, they are almost identical. And the design of one of his vehicles was almost the same. He literally looked at the movie and was like, you know what? Let's make that. Which is kind of cool, but also I feel like it's a little, it kind of gets him in some sticky water. But what people have been talking about the most, or what I've seen the most on my feed, is what would they want their robot to do if they choose to buy a Tesla robot in the future? What thing that they hate doing or what thing that they love doing would they want their robot to join in on? So I have to ask, what would you want your robot to do?
I'm laughing because I need to go back to two things. First thing, you are the queen of mixing metaphors. What? Sticky water, you mean sticky situation or hot water. You are the queen, and you do it so effortlessly. I don't even know how you do that, but you can mix two metaphors.
I didn't know I said that. Whoops.
Anyway, and then as far as the design of the robots, now I'm not a defender of Elon Musk by any means. I can't stand about that man. But in his defense, robot is kind of a robot.
But no, if you see the side by side,
I saw it.
And it wasn't just the robots. There was also a vehicle, and there was something else where it was directly it was like he snatched it out of the movie and put.
Well, an automaton or a robot, there's only so many different iterations.
No, okay, I need to show you because you're not understanding.
I think I saw it. I get it, but unless you have some with curly hair and some with blue, a robot count as a robot. There's just a couple different standard models, so they're gonna be similar.
Obviously not exactly the same, but very similar, very similar build.
But to me, that's just kind of, I don't know. So I'm not defending Elon Musk, but I feel a robot is a robot is a robot. I don't know.
The director said, no, not around here.
Yeah. Well, and if I was him, if I felt like I had a leg to stand on, I might argue that point. But to me, a robot is a robot. But in terms of my own personal robot, first of all, I would not want my robot to be anywhere inside my house. Especially while I was I've seen too many movies.
Oh, you're afraid of
I'm afraid of them. I'm afraid of them. I'm afraid of them becoming too human-like and deciding to do their own thing. So my robot would be stored outside or in something locked to where it could only be out when I wanted it out because I don't trust the robots. But if I had one, it would do all of the stuff that I don't want to do. It would take out the garbage. It would wash my car. It would do yard work. It would paint the house. It would do all, especially since if it's a robot, I should be able to Google stuff and program it or whatever. Not me programming because I can't do that kind of stuff.
It would kind of be like Star Wars, how
are you thinking R2-D2?
Yeah, R2-D2
and C-3PO.
They could just they knew how to do things.
Knew how to do that. I would have them doing all that stuff, all the stuff around my house that needs to be done, honey. It would be done. If I could get a robot that could do that kind of stuff, depending on how expensive it was, I would get me one because
my robot definitely would be my driver.
I don't know if I would be. I would be afraid of that part. I would be afraid.
The Teslas already drive themselves anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like it would be my driver. I would definitely teach it how to do my hair. Never going to a hairstylist again. It's going to learn how to do nails. I'm not going to nails.
I would probably do. I don't know about hair. I would let it do my nails.
It can do some simple blow dry.
Yeah, it can do some simple stuff. It could do some
not simple
styles,
put a roller in.
Yeah,
that's not difficult. It would do all of that stuff that I like done, but I don't like doing it for myself, and I don't want to pay someone else to do it.
Yeah,
because I don't know how much these robots are about to run. Is it going to be $1,000 and then you're just set, you have your robot and you're cool? Or
knowing Elon, he's going to have it so that you buy the robot and then
you're going to need
you got to pay to keep it operational. Like it's not going to just buy a robot.
Yeah, like how Twitter is not just Twitter. It's like you can get premium Twitter.
Yeah, you don't have to pay for the service. You have to pay for the robot service. But I want my robot to be like Rosie on the Jetsons. It's going to do all the housework. It's going to do
it would do like all the housework.
All the things that I don't want to do.
It would like remind me of things. It would be like, go and put your clothes in the dryer.
But it would have to be able to be stored outside.
But I feel like even once this is actually a real thing, which I'm sure at some point it probably will be, and it'll be almost like how phones weren't a thing when I was growing up and now it's a thing. Mm-hmm. I would not buy one. I would be very resistant to buying one because I just feel like it looks too human and it has too many human characteristics.
As for me, Alexa. If Alexa is listening,
now we're going off the rails.
When you say Alexa, do blah blah blah, Alexa respond. That means Alexa has to be listening all the time. And if Alexa's listening all the time, what information is Alexa gathering about me and my household? I mean, I don't want Alexa in my house.
You do everything. Well, I do everything on my phone anyway. So
and I know the phones are listening. There's no question in my mind. I know because it starts to recommend and show you things after you talk about things. I know they're listening. But it feels a little bit different. Alexa actually is speaking back to me, which the phone has components of that too. But Alexa, turn off the lights. Alexa, do it. Alexa has to be listening all the time to know when she is being called. I don't want Alexa.
I feel like robots are doing a little bit too much. We need to go back. We need to look at like Age of Ultron. We need to look at all these old movies where robots go rogue. And it just seems like developers and like these scientists and like these tech people are doing everything that they warned us 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago not to do. Maybe The Simpsons has an episode about this because The Simpsons predict
the future. I wonder if
The Simpsons has a Tesla robot episode.
The rise of the machines is happening. I don't trust them. Even your smart TV. How did TV know I went to sleep? What you mean? Like
no, there's a timer. So if you're inactive, you're not clicking a button.
Okay, I buy that, but it's mighty funny to me when I'm just sitting passively watching. I'm not changing channel. It doesn't turn off. But when I go to sleep,
because it's on a timer of like if you're watching an episode, it's gonna let the episode finish because you're watching an episode. But if there's like too many episodes where you don't pause, then it's like, okay, how are you just sitting here watching this for 10 hours?
I don't like it.
I feel like that is very
smart
logical.
TVs. I do not like them. I feel like they are spying on us. I feel like at any point in time, somebody on the other side of that screen, somewhere in a lab or in a
but there's definitely like people are like, oh, if my FBI agent sees this, that's like a real thing.
It's a very Truman thing.
Because, like for instance, if a kid posts like a school shooting threat or whatever, they can go in and find out who posted it, or if someone's like a child predator, or like has like,
I'm in agreement with
images or whatever. I know, but I'm saying like they can go and see that. Like there's something that triggers like, hey, this word or this thing is being said.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
So if they can do that for good reasons, they can also do it for bad reasons.
Yeah, exactly. They're using filters for certain language. They're looking for certain things. I'm sure if you say negative things about political figures or you're gonna do this or that and other thing, you're gonna get a knock at the door. But I don't like it. I don't like all of the stuff. I mean, I like the positive aspects of technology, but technology is a little
and it's going to take away a lot of jobs for people. Like a lot of like labor intensive jobs or driving jobs. I feel like at a certain point in like the next 20, 30 years, those are going to be obsolete in terms of humans doing them.
And you heard it here first. Public education, they're trying to get rid of it. Once we went online for COVID and we did the online school or whatever and stuff, now we teachers all know that you parents hated that because you had to have your children at home with you instead of them sitting in a classroom with us. And we also know that some kids just kind of fell off the edge with that. So it doesn't work. But they're going to try to get something because we as teachers a part of our curriculum now is we have to load at least one lesson, I think it's per 9 weeks, that is completely online, not involving us. Like the whole thing has to be an hour's worth of online activity where the kids are doing something that is not a part of the classroom, the traditional classroom or whatever. It's a rollout. They're warming up to it. They're practicing for it. And eventually public education, I think, is going to go away completely.
I feel like a lot of things are going to be dependent on technology and not real in-person being together. Like, for instance, when we experienced those back-to-back hurricanes here in Florida, after the hurricane, when all the power and all the Wi-Fi and everything was down, that is the first time in years that I saw kids outside playing with each other. And like, I literally drive down the road and I was like, child? Why is the child outside?
Yeah.
And then it was like a whole like group of them playing. And I'm like, I haven't seen that since I was a kid, really.
Yeah. The other thing, I want to invest in this. Somebody's going to steal the idea, but just like there's Alcoholics Anonymous, there's going to be Phone Addiction Anonymous if it doesn't exist already somewhere. Because I'm telling you, I could threaten the lives of some of the young people that I work with, and they would go ahead and die before they stop scrolling. Like, they cannot, like, they have their attention span. If you try to get them to put their phones, their AirPods, if you try to get them to put that stuff down, it is a true addiction. Like, they're willing to risk it all.
I mean, you have to think about, for most of them, their whole lives are on their phone.
And it's scary. And let me say this is kind of a unsolicited extra Gemini gem. If you are a parent and you are using the phone, like, video games, or, even if it's age appropriate, even if it's educational, if you're using the phone as a babysitter, you are setting your child up for failure. Because kind of, for right now anyway, in theory, when they go to school, there is not that instant gratification. There is not that, let me tap this and then something happens. Let me tap this and then something happens. There's I got to read this and then process and figure out. You are doing them a disservice because you're making them addicted at a young age to instant feedback, instant gratification, and it is going to mess a bunch of kids up. Like, their attention spans are messed up, their ability to interact with people, to have a conversation.
I mean, even as adults, we are very dependent on technology that we did not have. I mean, especially for you. For me, I was at the beginning of like the technology boom of like having the Nintendo and the Wii and the iPod and then an iPhone and like, it progressing from there.
Yeah.
But like being able to know where everyone is all the time, like having somebody's location, I'm very dependent on like, if I can't get in touch with someone, I can just, where are they right now, and make sure they're safe. That wasn't a thing. Or even having maps on your phone, like that wasn't a thing.
Well, being able to definitely are much more adventurous than I was, because you can have the directions on your phone. We had to either have somebody tell us the directions or have a map, and you couldn't be looking at a map and driving. It's changed a lot of things for the better. Like, it was less traumatic for me when you went to college, because it's like, heck, I can talk to her every day. I can FaceTime with her. It's almost like she's in another room, happens to be in another city, but she's just in another room. Where with my mom, we were completely out of touch unless I called her. And even then, for a few minutes, it was long distance to call. Can you believe it was long distance to call from Lakeland to Tampa and plans? Like, it's crazy. But anyway, it was less traumatic and less like an empty nest.
Like
feeling.
Now, if I don't immediately pick up your phone call, you're like, oh my God, she's dead. And it's like, no, I just didn't.
No, that's you that thinks that.
No,
that's you that thinks that people are dead.
Go back a couple of episodes, y'all, and y'all.
That was one time for me, but you're the one that starts thinking of all kind of disasters.
Mom, just last night you called me twice. Within a 30-second time
twice
span.
Because
you texted me, then you called me, then you called me again,
and then I called, and then I double called because you told me when I called twice.
My phone was not on D&D. I just didn't hear it.
Okay, well, you called me back.
Well, yeah, because I thought it was urgent.
And the reason I did that last night was the same reason I did it the last time, but this time I didn't panic. I was like, I'm hearing a lot of sirens going by, whatever and stuff. And I texted you because I wasn't sure if you were in the house. It's like, she might be in the house and I'm too tired to get up and just go walking around. So I texted and you didn't respond. And it's like, okay, I guess I got to get up and go look this time. So I went and looked. It's like, no, she's not in there. So that's when I called, and I figured you had probably fallen asleep wherever you were.
I did.
Like,
I was very asleep.
Let me call her because she is probably, and I am now not going to be able to go back to sleep until I know that she has come in. Because it's like, anyway.
Moving on from iRobot to a different movie that is coming up pretty soon. Let me put y'all on. As I've said multiple times on the show, I am a very big fan of Issa Rae and her producing, her acting, her celebrityness,
her comedy. She is just funny. She is hilarious to me.
If you haven't watched it, watch Insecure. That's not what we're talking about right now. But she's a big deal to me in my bubble of liking film and TV or whatever. Other people that I also like, SZA, love her music. Keke Palmer, grew up with her, True Jackson VP, always been a fan for decades at this point. They are joining together to come up with this new movie that comes out.
They have already joined together. They're not joining together. The movie's made.
Yeah, y'all know what I mean. It's called One of Them Days, and the trailer just dropped recently. I had the pleasure of watching it. And this is SZA's acting debut. I was like, that's so random. I never
knew she acted. Like, when I saw that,
this is her debut. Okay. I was like, I never knew that this was something that she wanted to do. Also, Ava Coleman from Abbott Elementary. That is not that lady's real name.
Love her.
She's in it. Cat Williams is in it. Pretty much funny people are in it. And I think like the premise of the show is that like these two roommates like need their rent money and they have to go on
this. Is it a show or a movie?
Yeah, movie.
Okay.
I don't know why I said show.
Let's not confuse
these two roommates have to go on this like wild adventure to get their rent money, and it turns like dangerous and it turns funny, and like it seems like it'll be one of those movies that might be like corny and cheesy and cutesy, but like it has some of like the big stars in it that you're gonna want to see in it.
Yeah, that was a surprising pairing, SZA and Keke Palmer.
Yeah,
Keke Palmer is hilarious to me. She doesn't even have to be acting. She's just
naturally herself.
Keke
She's always
Palmer,
been funny.
Put her on the list of people that I would love to go on a road trip with. I think she is hilarious. SZA is a surprise to me. Like I know hardly any. I know a little bit of her music. Know hardly anything. Did you know that she has gymnastic skills?
Yeah, I knew that.
Like she's just a jack of all trades. Seems like, but. Cat Williams, you cannot go wrong with Cat Williams. Yeah. I know his, and then like you said,
I think her real name is Janelle. I'm pretty sure her real name is
whatever
Janelle.
Her name is. I want to be her friend. She is.
But like, I just feel like
Abbott Elementary. She makes that like I wait for her scenes. Like I wait for her to show up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I feel like putting all of them in the movie, it was very smart. And as Issa Rae once said, I'm rooting for everybody black. So I will be watching this movie.
Yeah, that's gonna be funny, I think.
And like Issa is a good script writer, and like she makes the most mundane subjects hilarious. Like her character on Insecure, which was Issa, like that was her character on Insecure. She would do like the little rap video, or not rap video. She would do her little raps in the mirror, and it was just like it just felt very relatable.
It's that subtle humor. Like she's good at the subtle humor, taking almost like a black female Jerry Seinfeld, like taking the everyday stuff.
I don't really know that much about Jerry Seinfeld. Well, I know who
somebody
he
my
is,
age would know. But like his show became popular because it was a show about nothing. Like that was literally what the whole pitch was. It was a show about nothing, about the everyday things that you have conversations about, you laugh about, whatever, but nobody would think to make it a thing.
It's the same reason why everyone loves Abbott Elementary. It's like the most basic concepts, the most basic things that happen to everyone. It's just, it makes it so much more funny because it's so relatable.
Yeah, and she has a very specific audience with Abbott Elementary that's baked in teachers. Like every teacher can relate, but also just like it's just funny. I feel
so now in my head I'm thinking Issa Rae and Quinta should collab.
Team up and do something. Y'all make that happen.
Yes, Issa Rae.
It would probably win an Oscar for comedy movie. Cause make that happen, please.
Because I feel like Quinta hasn't delved into movies yet. She's very much TV.
Anyway, Issa and Quinta, we're begging. Please make that happen.
Because I need a good laugh. And, you know, if y'all want to have me as an extra or anything, I'm available. I'll make it work. But moving on to what had happened was, I saw this and I was just like, well, isn't that special? Good or bad, however y'all want to take it. It just caught me off guard when I read it. I was just like, okay. But People Magazine reported that this couple who's engaged has never kissed, and they are waiting until their wedding day. She is waiting until she walk in that white dress and they say, I do, and you may kiss the bride. I find that to be insane, but you know, to each their own. What are your thoughts?
I am trying to make it a habit not to judge people.
I think our viewers would disagree.
For choices like that are so personal. Now, would I do it? No, I would not. But however, if they want to honor God, their morals, their whatever, for whatever reason they're doing it, good for them. I hope it works out, though. I hope it works out.
Me personally, I just don't understand how you want to have that awkward moment at the altar. Because if you've never kissed somebody before, and then you wait until your wedding.
Okay,
what if
here's
y'all
my
have
question.
Two different styles?
Like, question,
have y'all ever kissed anybody?
That's
before?
what I was gonna say. Is it their first kiss ever, or just their first kiss with each
But I still feel like even if it's their first kiss with each other, people kiss people in different ways. There's a different approach. So like, are they going to talk about this? Or is it just
maybe
happen?
They have had discussions, maybe they have not. But all I can say, my little advice to you is take your time. It's your wedding. Do it how you want to do it. Like if y'all need to like have a moment, a conversation, whatever.
That's just so ridiculous.
Because they deserve, if they are doing that, if they're going through that much sacrifice and self-control, it's your first kiss. If it takes you 20 minutes to set it up, to get it just how you want it, I feel like you deserve that.
I just feel like that's such an intimate moment between a couple that why would you want to do that in front of all your friends and family?
I mean,
like that just,
it's going to make the wedding that much more interesting. Like, well, here's the thing. There's nothing wrong with doing it, but I wouldn't have publicized it because now everybody's going to be like,
I'm at the wedding. That's what I'm at the wedding. I have my popcorn and I'm just
I would be waiting on the kiss to happen. Look, I wouldn't hear anything else until I heard and you may kiss the bride. I'm
not going to call out who is who. But you're going to understand when I say, I've seen some awkward wedding kisses before. I've seen some awkward wedding kisses before where it just makes you be like, are they going to stay together? Because do you like each other?
Some people are just shy, so the kiss might be awkward.
I mean, like, I don't want to kiss my boyfriend in front of all of my friends and family.
Yeah,
but like,
your mom is watching. Even though you're good and grown, like your mom was watching, your grandma might be watching.
At the point that we are at that altar, at the point that we have said, I do.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Once you're married, y'all take your time. God bless you. Good luck. Hopefully it won't be awkward for either of you. Hopefully y'all have a plan.
What if they bump teeth or something? That'll just be so embarrassing.
Readjust and resume. It's their wedding day. They can do whatever. That's what I'm saying. Y'all don't owe anybody any explanations or apologies. Take your time. Do whatever you need to do.
I want to like personally interview them and just ask why. Why are we doing this?
Maybe they're just trying to like do what they feel like is right. Like, leave but like, alone.
I don't think in any religion it says you can't kiss people.
I'm sure that there's some religions where you're not even supposed to be alone with the person prior to marriage.
That's more cultural than religious, I think.
Well, anyway, if that's what they want to do,
why? I just have so many questions.
You're so nosy.
I am because I personally don't understand why. Like, why?
I mean, and even if you've kissed the person many, many times, doing it in front of everybody,
my kiss at my wedding is going to be awkward just because I'm an awkward person.
Yeah, it feels strange regardless of how many times you've kissed before.
Then also, I have more respect for them versus people that want to have a full on going to town in front of grandma and grandpa and kids and stuff.
People accuse me. People thought my wedding kiss was long. I didn't think it was.
I've never seen it.
You saw it, you just don't remember because there is video footage of it. But people said it was. I didn't think it was long, but
I don't want to think about this.
Me either. Now
I don't want to think about
me either until the next time. But yeah, people. One of my cousins was like, y'all, and I was like, it wasn't all of that. Anyway,
but I think that's because you're not like a super like emotional, affectionate person. So most of them in that room probably had never seen you. In the same way.
To the point that they were taking bets that I wasn't going to go on my honeymoon. Like that's how crazy they were. Like they were like, she not going anywhere. Like she not going. She going to come back tonight.
I feel like a lot of y'all, meaning like our family, would be like, oh my God, Imari has a heart. Like, oh, that's so cute. Well,
they think you're a robot because they thought I was a robot. So like whatever.
It's like, no, y'all. When the reception is over, bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Yeah, but they literally said that they didn't think that I was gonna. First, they were shocked I was getting married, and then they were like, they didn't think I was gonna.
Why did they not think that you were gonna go on your honeymoon?
I don't know. Because
I for sure am going. I don't know. The same night. I'm out. I'll see y'all in a couple weeks.
Yeah. Anyway, I leave those people back to the original. Leave them alone. Take your time. If y'all need to like reset, whatever y'all got to do, it's their business.
Well, first of all, just make sure you brushed, mouthwash, gum, mint, whatever you need.
Yeah.
A lipstick that's not gonna transfer.
Yeah, get I can't remember, but there's the lipstick that doesn't come off, and I mean it stays on all day, no matter what you do. Can't remember the brand. We've talked about it on here before, but it really does work. Like if you put it on, it's not coming off.
Well, that's not helpful to her.
I know. Because I can't remember the brand. If anybody wants to know the brand, type it in the comments when you see this, and I will post it because I know what it is. I have it at home. I just can't bring it to mind right now.
I hope they have their fairy tale ending.
It's by CoverGirl
or beginning, and however you want to look at it.
Yeah. Anyway,
Ask a Gemini time. So I saw this on the Shade Room, and I was like, this is actually a really good question because I have like several answers to this that I could give. And it was, what is a movie you would watch just for the music? And I have a long list.
I know you do.
I have a long list because I love movies. I love music. I love when they come together. I love a good musical. But I'll allow you to go first because, you know, my list will
I want is for you to go first because chances are I'm going to say me too.
Okay.
Me too on a bunch of them.
I wrote it down so I didn't forget.
I know you got a long list.
And I tried to think of out of the box ones because I feel like there's obvious ones. Yeah. I try to think out of the box.
Yeah, let's see if I have some that you don't.
So first on the list, and this is literally just for 2 songs. Because I can't remember more than 2 songs from this movie. There might only be 2 songs in this movie, but Hercules. When the muses start out with "Bless My Soul," Hercules on the road, I'm already excited. Okay. And then, oh my gosh, the song that Meg sings. Oh, I can't think of it.
Don't Say I'm in Love.
Yes, I won't say I'm in love, or you won't say I'm in love, whatever. I love that song.
Yeah, now that is surprising. I would not have expected that to be on the list.
Hercules has some good music.
I co-sign both those songs.
Yesterday, the movie that featured all the Beatles music, I already liked the Beatles, but that movie really put me on to like their full catalog and doing a deep dive and like really getting into listening.
Okay, these
to
are good because they're unexpected ones.
Exactly.
Go ahead. Okay,
I'm cultured.
Okay.
La La Land. Now this might be off. I already knew.
I mean, that was all right, but
I already knew. But I love La La Land. The music just makes you feel like you're like, you know, in a fantasy and like there's love and there's heartbreak.
No spoilers, but the end of that movie was a disappointment.
It made me cry.
It was so disappointing.
No, it was just like they did all of that for nothing.
Don't ruin it for the people that haven't seen it.
La La Land has been out for years. If you don't know what it is by now.
There's somebody that's, you know, going back, they're going to binge watch some old movies. Don't get
a newer one that just came out last year, The Color Purple. The music top tier. Yeah. The singers top tier. You can't go wrong with Fantasia and Abby. You can't.
It just made me think of one. Go ahead.
Okay. Dreamgirls.
Okay.
We can't go wrong with Beyonce and J Hud. Like, come on. Yeah. Come on. And then my final one for the moment, Pitch Perfect.
Okay.
Because they had some good music, and it was like very diverse. There was something for everyone, and it's just a hilarious movie. Yeah, but I would just listen to the soundtrack for that.
Yeah, I don't know why when you said Color Purple, it made me think of The Greatest Showman.
Yes,
that right there.
Yes,
Harriet.
Oh, I forgot about Harriet.
Honey, that one song.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I know what you're talking about. I could be almost in a coma. Start playing that, and I'm gonna rise up. Take my people with me.
What is her name?
Yes, ma'am.
Because she's in Wicked with Ariana Grande now.
I can't think of her name.
Cynthia. I don't know how to say her last name. I think it's Cynthia Erivo or something like that.
Anyway,
but she is a singer, and I will be watching Wicked.
And I didn't know she was a singer like that, but honey, she sang that song. Okay,
she sings like jazz and stuff too. Like I think she's more of a singer than an actor, honestly. But acting is just what took off.
She
for her.
Definitely is talented. So I'm gonna do some more obvious ones. I think. Okay, so Love Jones got to be on there.
I was gonna put Love Jones, but I figured you were gonna say it.
If you don't like Love Jones, me and you cannot be friends. Love Jones. I hated this movie, but I love the song. Happy Feet. That was the stupidest movie.
Okay, Happy Feet is an adorable movie.
That was the stupidest movie, but the soundtrack for Happy Feet.
He just wanted to dance.
No, ma'am.
He wanted to be a unique penguin.
No, ma'am. No, Happy Feet.
You hated that movie ever since I was a kid.
I hated that movie, but the soundtrack. Okay, and then the Batman movie that Prince did the soundtrack for.
The original Batman?
The original Batman?
Or not the original Batman.
Yeah, that one. That Prince soundtrack.
Yeah.
Purple Rain.
I never watched Purple Rain.
But I listened to all the Prince's music. I don't know if he made the movie so that he would have a movie to go with the soundtrack, but
I should watch the movie because Purple Rain, the song itself makes no sense, but it's a great song.
When he put that song out, I was, young, but when he put that song out, we were like, oh, like that. It sounded country, like what? And then you watch the movie.
No, it sounds like country and rock.
And then you watch the movie and you're like, okay.
I've still never seen that movie. I should watch it.
Purple Rain had a great soundtrack. Trying to think of other ones. Oh, This is gonna sound funny, but the Peanuts movie, because you know Flo Rida, "Welcome to My House." I love that song.
Oh, well, a new movie,
song.
Piece by Piece, because it's all Pharrell's music.
Okay.
I love that movie because it was all his
Anything
music.
that Pharrell. Well, then you got to put.
Despicable Me.
I was gonna say you
All
got to
of
put it
them.
on there. All of
Despicable
them
Me's.
because of the. If we're talking soundtrack now,
Yeah.
the movies.
I love Despicable Me. It's cute.
Despicable Me, I'm okay with. It's the Minion movies. Take those back.
The Minions could be better,
take those
but
back.
Despicable Me and the music eats every time.
So like
the Lorax, that one song, the Lorax, they get down on that one
I
song.
don't know
in the
which
Lorax.
one you're talking
the
about.
song when he is with what is it called? Oh my gosh, it's the scarf that he makes in the Lorax from the trees.
the Truffalo trees.
But it's from the truffle trees, but there's a scarf. There's a specific name that he gives a scarf in the movie, but then he sings a whole little song
can't
about
remember.
it. And then I just like when the little evil man is like, "Let it die." Let it die.
See, you remember, you were a kid, so you remember that movie
Yes,
a
I
lot more
do.
than me. Okay, and then a little bit, not necessarily would be on everybody's list, but West Side Story. I
only watched that movie once.
I love West
and I did
Side
not watch the
Story.
new one. So
I also obviously love Grease. Like Grease.
yeah, Grease.
Like yeah. So like
Singing in the Rain.
Yeah.
That's a very old movie, but
yeah.
still
As you can see or hear, depending on how you're taking this in, we have a very eclectic music taste. So like yeah, there's a lot of movies that were great because of the soundtrack.
Encanto. I love me some Encanto music.
Yeah.
We don't talk about Bruno, no.
Okay, we're not singers, and we shouldn't even attempt to sing. But anyway, and I'm trying to think.
I feel like I like High School Musical, but I feel like a lot of people,
young people,
the Cheetah Girls.
Yeah.
Every single Cheetah Girls movie had me want to go to every location. I still want to go to Barcelona, and I still want to go to India to this day.
Yeah.
That is going to be a lifelong dream until I go there.
And I'm sure there's tons more. My mind is.
Fun fact. Did y'all know that Whitney Houston produced the Cheetah Girls?
I did.
She
not know
also
that.
produced the Brandy version of Cinderella.
Okay, that one I think I knew, but I didn't know about the Cheetah
There's something else
Girls.
that she produced, but I forgot.
Oh well, then since you brought up Whitney, Waiting to Exhale, you gotta put that on the list because she had some bops on
Did
that.
I watch that movie? I think I did.
I don't know if you did or not, but Waiting to Exhale had a good.
Even though
soundtrack.
I've never watched this movie, when I was a pianist for a long portion of my life and then just gave up on it. I had the Bodyguard soundtrack, and those songs were all good. I never did end up watching the movie, but the soundtrack.
Bodyguard made me think of Whitney singing, and then it made me think of her singing Dolly's song 9 to 5. Like 9 to 5 was just a cute movie, and I love Dolly Parton, honey. Dolly Parton has a special place in glory. Like y'all don't say nothing bad about Dolly. She is a saint, and I love her music because
I like the fact that she. Okay, Dolly and Patti
I love
LaBelle.
that she wrote that song, clacking her nail. Like I love that.
I like the fact that she gave Beyonce the right, or not the rights, but approved her remixing Jolene.
Yeah.
There was my final edition, Shrek.
I'm trying to think. What songs were in Shrek?
There were a lot of songs in Shrek.
I can't think of one right off the top of my head.
Oh, the one that the fairy lady sings, because she be killing it. Oh, Barracuda. She sings Barracuda in it.
I do not remember it.
You're not a 2000s baby.
The one Elsa and them Disney
Frozen.
movie. Frozen had a good soundtrack. Yeah. They had a lot of kids. Yeah,
but I like the one song that Kristoff sings for Anna in the second movie, where he's just like begging for her.
I can't get "Love Is an Open Door" out of my head.
Yeah, I like love. But then when you know what happens at the end, obviously this movie came out in 2013.
That right there. Whoever wrote that
movie, but when you know what happens
something.
at the end, it's just like, you fake lying son of a gun.
Whoever helped with that script had been through something. That person had dealt with a malignant narcissist for real. Because when that scene happened, I was like,
as an 11-year-old, I was just like, oh, that was mean. But now as an adult,
I was like. Oh my!
And then when he was about to let her die.
Oh my God! Stop giving away movies. People haven't.
Everyone has seen Frozen.
No, some people haven't.
We are in 2024. That movie came out in 2013.
Anyway, moral of the story is there's a lot of movies that even if the movie wasn't the best movie, the soundtracks were fire. Yes. Yeah, but yeah, Love Jones. I think that whole that's in my top, if not my top.
It's my favorite romantic
movie. Like Love Jones. If you haven't seen Love Jones,
The Photograph, all of those movies are like top tier.
Yeah. Anyway,
but we hate Love Is Basketball. Boo.
I don't hate Love and Basketball. Love and Basketball, not
That's
is
what I
basketball.
said.
You said is basketball.
I meant Love and Basketball.
I don't hate it. I mean, it's just one of those.
No, she got played every step of the way.
Wait, what's the movie where that Stevie Wonder song is? I think is it The Best Man? I'll be loving you always.
Watched The Best Man.
Until the always, I think is the name of the song. It's a Stevie Wonder song. I think that's from the Best Man. So put The Best Man on the soundtrack. Whatever
movie that Chris Brown was in where he sung This Christmas. I forget what movie that was.
I think it was called This Christmas. I think that's what it was called. Yeah. Yeah. Now, love the movie. You know, I like Chris Brown, even though he's controversial. But Chris will never, ever, and nobody will ever, ever touch the Donny Hathaway version of This Christmas. It's not Christmas until Donny Hathaway's.
No, it's not Christmas until Mariah Carey defrosts.
Mariah Carey came after, and I will give the queen her position. But Donny, if you don't have This Christmas by Donny Hathaway playing in your house at least once a week during the Christmas season,
but
something
also
is wrong
I feel
with
like
you. And then right next to that is the Temptations Silent Night, the Temptations version of Silent Night. You're not black. Your black card should be revoked if you do not have Donny Hathaway. If you do not have Donny Hathaway's This Christmas,
but who
and
is
the Temptations version?
Who is just sitting listening to a Silent Night by the Temptations?
If the Temptations singing it at Christmas, it's Christmas
that's not
time.
Like a Silent Night is like a song you hear in a Christmas movie, but it's not a song you play during Christmas.
I guarantee you, on the Facebook page of many, many millions of African American people, as soon as December 1st comes around, somebody's gonna post, "Did I hear somebody say in my mind?" Because that's how he starts the song.
No,
I guarantee you.
I feel like when we hear "All I Want for Christmas," that's when we know.
That's the. What are you? Generation? What are you? Z? Gen Z?
Yes.
That's the Gen Z. For Generation X, it is This Christmas by Donny Hathaway and Silent Night by the Temptations.
This Christmas I'll go along with. I have not heard people bumping the Temptations song.
Honey, well, that's because you didn't grow up in the 70s and 80s in Polk County with WWAB radio station.
We've gotten very specific.
Yes, ma'am, because it was not Christmas until they start playing those songs. And honey, they played them on repeat until the Christmas season was over. I'm just trying to tell you.
Wow.
We went off on a tangent, y'all, but you know, sometimes I have to educate
I don't even know what we were originally talking about.
Yeah. Anyway.
But Mariah has not been defrosted yet. We are still very much in the hollow thanks part of.
Well, Hallmark is already showing Christmas movies, and I am not ashamed to admit.
Hallmark shows Christmas movies in
They started
March.
in October, and I promise you, they are. But you know, food for the soul. When you just need to not think about any of the bad stuff, you want a happy ending. You want a cute girl falling in love with a cute guy, and sometimes there's a dog and kids. When you just need to zone out, Hallmark.
Not to go completely off the rails, but Hallmark might be in trouble because they don't like, or someone that's like an executive said they don't want to hire their older actors anymore, like Holly Robinson Peete and them, because they don't like fit the aesthetic anymore because they're older.
No, I'm not with ageism, but right now I'm telling you that these last couple of weeks,
I mean,
like Hallmark
has for years been in a little bubble of only showing certain type of people.
Well, you know, they got in trouble because people were saying they didn't have enough minorities, but they
never saw any gay characters. You never saw like
their game. They have upped their game. They're having better. Some diversity.
They've gotten better.
And I'm liking Hallmark these days. Like, I'm telling you, when I need to just like forget about all the bad, I watch Hallmark. I really just want to know why everyone in their movies is always rich. Can we have some regular people? I tell you what, if I had to come back on a network, if my life had to be based on a network, I wanted to be based on Hallmark because everybody has a giant house, beautifully decorated, nice cars and good jobs, and they always have good jobs that they don't hardly have to go to. Yes, they're like never working. If they're at work, they're walking out of work. They own the florist shop, and they stop in and check on everything. It's always a job, and it's always snowing. That they can tell somebody to lock up. I'll be right back. Like I need a Hallmark job. It's always snowing, but it's never cold. It's just. Purses are always cute. Outfits are always cute. Like, yeah, if I gotta live on a network, I want to live on the Hallmark network. And like everything always works out in the end. Scenery is gorgeous. Yeah, I don't know, but Hallmark kind of pisses me off because it's real life. Look,
Like, I like
sometimes
looking
you
at it.
need to just go in.
Yeah, I like, but it's like
land.
sometimes like we need to see like, okay, does anybody in the town ever die? Like, does something happen?
We don't need that. We get enough of that in real life. We don't need that.
I'm just a pessimistic person.
No. I don't need that. The reality is there whenever I get back. But like, I like to be able to go to Hallmark Land and forget about everything and watch the movies.
Yeah, but
watch the good guys win, watch the bad guys lose.
Don't be trying not to hire people because they're of a certain age.
They've upped their game. I'm not mad at Hallmark right now.
They just need to continue on the diversity track and
they've done a lot. They've made a lot of adjustments and they've been positive from what I can see. Now, I'm not behind the scenes, so I don't know all the stuff, but from what I can see, they're doing pretty good.
Yeah, and they got Tamara in them working for them. Mm-hmm. But anyway, Gemini gym time.
So practical Gemini gyms. The fall season, even though we're in Florida and you can't hardly tell, fall is gonna come. And winter's gonna come, and then you're gonna have cold and flu season coming around. Something that I discovered, and maybe I saw it online or something anyway, maybe I got the idea from somebody, but something that you can do if you come down with a sore throat. There's always cough drops. What I like to do is take a cough drop and put it in some warm water and dissolve it and drink the liquid, because you get two for the price of one, and that you get the warm liquid soothing your throat, and then you also get the benefits of the cough drop. And if it's a good quality cough drop, it tastes pretty good too. If you don't want to do it in just water, you could drop it in your favorite tea, green tea, whatever. But dissolve your cough drop in water and then drink the warm liquid, because you'll get a double cure that way.
And then jumping off that point, I feel like this will work if you're dieting, if you just have certain preferences, if you are trying to stay away from like super sugary drinks or whatever when you go out. You can always just bring a tea bag with you wherever, because like they come in, a little pouch or whatever. You can throw it in your bag. And then you can just ask for hot water, and then you can make your own tea. Because there's been plenty of times I've gone to a restaurant and they've had terrible drink options, or I'm trying to avoid soda or whatever. They don't have anything other than water. But if you want to add a little, extra something to your drink, you can always just add a tea bag.
Yeah. I carry during the winter season, I carry tea bags in my purse, and instead of asking for cold water at the restaurant, I just ask, can I have some hot water? And there's sugar on the table. Like, I just make me a little cup of tea.
Our family is notorious for making their own drinks. I will make it
because I try to avoid caffeine and carbonated drinks, and then sometimes I just don't want water. I don't want coffee. So like, I keep my favorite brands of tea bags in my purse during the wintertime, so I can ask for a cup of hot water and have tea.
With all of that being said, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Period.